At number 10 we have Kill the Villainess. This manhwa is about Elise, a villainess who killed herself by drinking poison after her fiancé the prince married their childhood friend Helena. Helena is the daughter of the maid they grow up with the prince and Elise. But apparently the prince and the queen loved Helena to be the next queen, but the king with the power Elise family hold to strengthen the kingdom. At first Elise really loved the prince and will do anything just for the prince to love her back. But that stopped when she came from that body and changed the future of the villainous Elise. So after he poses the body of Elise, she change it first by being the rude and strong female lead who don't have the time to chase the prince who she doesn't love anymore. This manhwa is really good. It is giving me revenge manhwa type but in a villainous type of manhwa. Also this manhwa can't make you feel anger to Helena, the maid, because she's so sweet and dumb because she forgives everyone who did something to her. The only person who you'll be angry with is the prince and the other guy in the palace, because they always compare Helena and Elise to the point that they are dragging Elise down. At number 9 we have The Villainess Wants to Die Gracefully. This manhwa is about a person who wanted to die, so she jumped off the bridge to wake up as a vampire who lives thousands of years and never dies. But in order for her to die he need to train to family of the vampire killer. But after 200 years when she already grow the generation of the vampire killer, the person who have the power to kill her born. With that time she train the boy and become his teacher. But the fun is just about to begin because the boy falls for her when he started to grow as a man. This manhwa is really complicated at first, but as you read the chapter the story lighten much more and you'll get the reason and what really happened 200 years ago. If you want a fantasy manhwa with a villainess on it, this manhwa is for you. Number 8 we have I Am Being Chased by My Husband. This manhwa is about Blue Ruby, the most wanted person and a legal evil spirit hunter who hated by the temple. While being a hunter of evil spirit she got a curse that prevents her to live after her 25th birthday. But in order to prevent that to happen she need a time of stone that has happened to be at the hand of her rival the temple most troublesome man, Duke Johannes. He possesses the time stone that can lift the curse Ruby got. So in order for Ruby to stay alive she decides to change her personality and make Johanner fall for her. Well that really happened and they become affectionate with each other but they still chasing each other by the other identity of Ruby. This manhwa is still fresh and has a really good plot but I'm begging the author to make an update to this one. I've been waiting since this manhwa got uploaded and there's still no update. At number 7 we have Death is the Only Ending for the Villainess. This manhwa is about Penelope Eckert who got reincarnated as the adopted daughter of Duke Eckert and the villainess of a reverse harem dating sim. But the problem is, she entered the game when the story is at the hardest difficulty for her and no matter what she does death awaits her at every ending. So before the real daughter of Duke Eckert appears she must choose one of the male leads and reach a happy ending in order for her survive. But the two brothers always pick a fight with her over every little thing as well as a crazy crown prince whose roots all lead to her death. There's even a magician who's enamored with the female lead and a loyal slave knight. But somehow, the favorability meters of the male leads increase the more she crosses the line with them. This manhwa is most likely about Penelope's survival story who's been dropped in an insane reverse harem. At number 6 we have I'm a Villainess but I picked up the male lead. This manhwa is about the person who possessed the most powerful villainess in a novel, Countess Edina. Well to be exact, she's the villainess who attempted to assassinate the male lead and took his heart to sold it to a neighboring country. And because of that she tried everything to avoid the male lead until she got his heart back. But she happened to find him during one bloodied night and tried to look away and just leave him there. But his condition was simply too terrible. But since this is the 9th time she into him, she decided to think that it would be better to just leave the male lead there and help him next time. This manhwa is really funny at some point because it has a really good sense of humor and also the art style is really good and pleasing so it gives he vibes you want in reading a manhwa. At number 5 we have Had to Get My Husband on My Side. This manhwa is about Ruby, a person who can't say no to her family and got forces to marry a guy who don't like her at all. And the fact that the guy is a great warrior of their kingdom just make it more harder for her to please him. Before Ruby got into the world of the book she is an adopted child of an abusive family and take her just have good image to others. But in real life they are the worst and causes everything for Ruby to say yes in everything she got asked to do. Anyways, Ruby is meant to die at the hand of her husband because of her corrupt father who take his whole family in his grave because of the money. So in order to prevent that from happening, Ruby decided to please his husband who is meant to kill her and his whole family. At number 4 we have I Have Become the Hero's Rival. This manhwa is about Irene, a person who get reincarnated to the world of the book she's reading and become the mate of the female lead. But the plan on the book don't really follow because Irene caught the attention of the female lead and decided to be with her forever. This situation caused Irene to rival the crown prince, the duke and the kingdom's hero, who also wanted to take the hand of the lady Irene been serving. But with them having an encounter to Irene, they started to grow feeling for her and become more stressful for Irene because she just wanted to protect her lady from all the boy who's trying to harm her. This manhwa id really funny and fun because of how Irene end up as a maid even though she thought that at least she'll become the female lead or the villainess. I mean she did become the female lead but she's still a maid. At number 3 we have The Princess's Double Life. This manhwa is about the Grand Duke who's finding a person who he can rely business to success the throne. Duke Hexen is the disgrace of his family because of the fact that his head is empty and his action is always based on what he think is right. But Grand Duke is also the strength of their empire because he's the person who could take a one-on-one fight in anyone without getting defeated. While Viper is a person who got reincarnated in World of Harem after she died while fooling everyone about herself and other things. Viper become a wanted person in Korea in her previous life and become a wanted person too in her second life. But the Grand Duke can't disagree to the fact that Viper has the brain to make him the king. This manhwa is really fun and funny because of our female lead who has a jolly personality and a really relatable lifestyle. At number 2 we have Honey I'm Going on Strike. This manhwa is about Cassia, a person who marry a commoner who's like the dog of the emperor and never show love toward her. After 10 years of being married, Cassia have 2 child with his husband who cries beside her when the time her illness got worse. By the time she's about to her husband show up and ask her what she wanted to have before leaving the world. And Cassia show him a divorce paper who just need the stump of her husband to be legally done. After giving the document to her husband tear it apart and burn it. And that's when Cassia take her last breath. But to her shock she open her eyes 10 years before the day she'll die. And after that she decide to chance her destiny and make more memories and love to her husband. At number 1 we have Untouchable Lady. This manhwa is about Halais, a person who's living again and again every time her brother wishes her to take the life sentence instead of her little sister who just want to make her life miserable. But after the last time her brother asked her to take the blame instead of her sister, she promised to herself that she'll never sacrifice herself to anyone. After her death she got reincarnated again to the time a monster broke into their house and her brother protect her little sister instead of her who's really near the monster and about to get bite. But that's when she showed the power she has that is destined to the power of her brother but she got it for unknown reason. And that's when she started to take everything that she deserve and mean to be her. This manhwa is really amazing and cool because we get to see a really strong and fierce female lead who'll kill everyone who step on her way. That's it. I hope you guys have a great time watching this video and figure out what manhwa you should read next. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you like this video. Also share it with your friends who also having a hard time choosing a new manhwa to read.